Hello, welcome to the MassWorks guidance webinar for the Community One Stop for Growth for fiscal year 2026. Jumping right into it, the purpose of the MassWorks program is to advance projects that support job growth and housing development. We also support small town road improvement projects. We are looking for design and construction projects to make improvements to publicly owned infrastructure. We typically do this through water and sewer projects, utility extensions, street and road improvements, and pedestrian improvements, as well as water treatment systems and transit improvements, public parks, and spaces within urban renewal districts. The MassWorks program is limited in eligibility to cities and towns and other units of local governments. Please bear that in mind as you work through the application process. And lastly, the MassWorks program is administered through the Community One Stop for Growth. This is our single application portal and collaborative review process. This is to streamline the experience for the applicant and to coordinate our economic development programs. The MassWorks program, as part of the Community One Stop for Growth, relies on a development continuum to prioritize grant applications and the correct funding sources. MassWorks is in the infrastructure category of the development continuum. We will review projects submitted under the mixed-use development category, the commercial industrial development category, as well as the small town road improvements to enhance public safety. This is formerly the STRAP program. It's important to note, maybe the most important question in the one stop, question 2.4, that when you select the development continuum category infrastructure, this will place you into consideration for the MassWorks program. Further, it's important to note that under project type, you'll want to select either public infrastructure to support commercial and industrial development or public infrastructure to support mixed-use development. Further under there is your project focus. You can either select pre-construction. This is funding for design and engineering documents only, or construction. This will be to fund your infrastructure development. Additionally, if you intend to apply for the Small Town Road Improvement Program under the infrastructure category in question 2.4, you will select small town road improvements under project type, and under project focus, select construction of road improvements to enhance public safety. Some considerations for the MassWorks program include project budgets. Well, the MassWorks program does not have a grant limit. Typical grant awards range from $1 million to $5 million. And there is a limit on the small town road improvement grants of $1 million. Also, where there is no limit on pre-development funding, those awards are typically in the $100,000 to $500,000 range. We do put a 3-year performance period on all our contracts. So these awards will run 3 full fiscal years after the date of contract signing. Something to keep in mind as you fill out your project schedules. As a reminder, eligible uses of funding are limited to publicly owned infrastructure for either design or construction. We do have some ineligible uses of funds. We are not allowed to fund vertical construction or costs associated with the private development, and we do not have an admin and overhead fee associated with our grants. Some information on how to be competitive. There's some things to consider when applying for a MassWorks program. We're looking for projects that have a high level of readiness to proceed. This means that your design and permitting are advanced. We're looking for evidence of local support. This is best evidenced through local matching funds in your application. And we need to see measurable outcomes related to the private development. So we need to be able to demonstrate either job growth or housing development or a mix of the two. We have some particularly important application questions related to those items. that will indicate if your budget and local match are in place, the status of the private development, the level of design. Please pay attention to the required application attachments that we need as evidence to those, a clear engineer's cost estimate, an aerial map of the project site, showing the limits of work, a support letter from your municipal CEO, a copy of the climate resilience tool, as well as a letter from the private development proponent. And lastly, if you are applying for the small town road improvement project, please provide clear images of the road showing where the deterioration is that is creating a public safety hazard. Some examples of successful applications include a typical infrastructure project from the town of Wayland that created 218 units of housing, 55 which qualified as affordable. This was a strong project because it had a high match at over 50%. The public project was advanced in design at more than 25% design. And the public infrastructure investment was crucial in allowing the private project to proceed. Next, this is an example of a small town road improvement project in the town of Hinsdale that reconstructed 1.3 miles of road, running right through town center across to Dalton and the town of Peru. This had a very clear engineer's cost estimate, very advanced in design at over 30%, and had a match of 10%. And really important to note here is that the permits had been secured at the time of the application. This also demonstrated a high level of public safety concern evidenced through the picture set. So please remember to provide clear pictures for your strap projects. Lastly, an example of a successful pre-development award from the city of Fitchburg. This was a design project resulting in a biddable design package. So this project was able to be taken to 100% design so the city could go out and secure a bid. It was a $450,000 grant with a $125,000 local match. It's an excellent match for a pre-development project, something to consider if you are intending to apply for pre-development funds. And some notes on our timeline. We are in our guidance phase at the moment. As with this webinar and a series of other webinars we'll be hosting over the next few months, we will be taking office hours and questions during this time. And the full application period will open up in May. It'll open up particularly on May 5th is when you can start submitting applications, and the final deadline will be Wednesday, June 4th. We will be reviewing and evaluating applications over the summer, and we hope to make award recommendations in October when our grant deliberation process is concluded. Finally, additional opportunities for guidance. Our expression of interest period is open, and we highly encourage potential applicants to participate in the expression of interest process. Recordings of webinars just like these for every program in the One Stop will be available on our websites, and we'll be hosting program office hours. MassWorks will be hosting 2 office hours, one in coordination with the Housing Works program, Monday, April 14th at 12 p.m. We will also be hosting a STRAP office hours held jointly with the Rural Development Fund on Tuesday, April 15th at 12 p.m. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to receiving your fiscal year 2026 MassWorks application through the Community One Stop for Growth.